Hello, and a very warm welcome to all our dedicated UPSC aspirants tuning in to Rungta IAS Academy. I'm your GS2 faculty, and today we're unpacking a highly relevant, though definitely sobering topic for your governance syllabus. We're looking at industrial hazards and regulatory apathy. Let's analyze the recent Tiruvallur ammonia gas leak and really break down exactly how you need to understand it for your upcoming mains examination.
Absolutely, sir. Hello, everyone. Now, our core source for today's analysis is a detailed report titled Deadly Fumes, which lays out the verified facts surrounding the devastating tragedy at St. Peter and Paul Seafood Exports. As future administrators, you've got to look way beyond just the immediate accident. We're going to use this case to dissect the actual anatomy of systemic administrative negligence.
Right. So, to do that efficiently, our explainer today will cover 4 key areas. First, the Tiruvallur ammonia tragedy itself. Second, the history of ignored warnings. Third, the regulatory frameworks and lapses. And finally, GS2 mains and interview application.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, the Tiruvallur ammonia tragedy. Faculty 2, the stark human cost, is really where we have to begin. This is Tamil Nadu's deadliest industrial ammonia gas leak, claiming the lives of 8 migrant women workers. On top of that, 68 workers were hospitalized, with several actually requiring intensive care on oxygen support. Now, note the specific vulnerability here. The leak from the ammonia pipeline to the ice flake machinery happened on a Sunday, right while these women were resting in their factory accommodation. That colorless, pungent gas just accumulated to fatal concentrations. Honestly, had this been a regular working day, the exposure could have been far, far worse.
Just a truly heartbreaking loss of life. Moving to Section 2, history of ignored warnings. Now, as an IAS aspirant, you must always be looking for patterns, because disasters of this magnitude almost never happen without prior warning signs. And the pattern here is undeniable. You see, since the 1980s, the state has battled recurring ammonia leaks, mostly clustered around Chennai. Then, in 2023, right during Cyclone Mahang, over 67 tons of it leaked from an undersea pipeline in Ennore. Earlier in 2024, another leak in Thoothukudi claimed a worker's life. And now, we have this deadliest tragedy in Tiruvallur. This is a chronological map of systemic failure. Previous incidents basically just led to hospitalizations and were promptly forgotten, completely setting the stage for this larger catastrophe.
Exactly. So that brings us to Section 3, regulatory frameworks and lapses.
Now, pay close attention, because this is absolutely vital for your mains answer writing. An inquiry committee actually found glaring discrepancies. The Director of Industrial Safety and Health, or DISH, had strictly recommended adequate ammonia sensors, water curtain systems, and linked alarms right after the Ennore case. Yet the factory reality was entirely different. They totally failed to rectify serious deficiencies from earlier inspections. They lacked suitable alarms or fire hydrants, and get this, they even operated unapproved ice flaking machinery, which is actually a matter that's currently sub judice. Had the DISH recommendations been strictly enforced, this whole tragedy could have easily been contained.
Precisely. It's a textbook case of regulatory apathy. You know, we aren't suffering from a lack of laws. The 1994 Tamil Nadu Major Accident Hazards Rules provide plenty of checks and balances. Now, the government's new committee to inspect over 6,000 hazardous industries is definitely a step, but we really have to ask, is just another inspection drive enough? Laws basically become paper tigers without strict, coordinated enforcement across all these different departments. What we actually need are much stronger penalties and, above all, the political will to act against these violators.
Well said. Let's look at Section 4, GS2 mains and interview.
So, how do you synthesize all of this into marks for your exam? Here is a formally worded UPSC main-style question that you should absolutely practice today. Discuss the role of statutory bodies in preventing industrial disasters. Analyzing recent incidents, what administrative measures are required to ensure strict compliance with safety norms? When you write this, use the Tiruvallur case study, make sure to cite the 1994 rules, and heavily emphasize the need for political will. Write it out and keep this case handy. But as you write, I want you to ponder this final thought. Are we, as a system, merely waiting for the next disaster to finally enforce the laws we already have on the books? Thank you so much for joining this explainer on Rungta IAS Academy. Keep studying hard, and we'll see you in the next session.